Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and I've got a big multi-tool pocket knife for you today. This is by Ruike Knives. I got it from Ruike Canada. It's not a Canadian company that makes these. These are made in China. A lot of people are misunderstanding when I'm doing these videos. Ruike Canada provided the knife to me at a discount. I paid for part of it. And so thank you, Ruike Knives, for the discount, and thank you that I could review this. But for my viewers, yes, I did pay for part of this knife, and I'm going to try to do a very objective and clear review of this knife. It's a multi-tool. This knife style comes in green for these options, but you can get it all the way down from just the blade and I think the glass breaker, and I think that's all the way up to this plus some things. This one has a rescue knife, serrated knife. It has a, there we go, a saw blade. It has a carabiner clip that also works as a bottle opener. It has a, well, let's try to put it up like that so you can sort of see it. It's got a bottle opener right there, that way, and a flat screwdriver, standard screwdriver. And that's it for this side. And on the other side, we've got a Phillips screwdriver and the only tool that I find difficult to open with just my bare hands is the awl. And that's because it's right there and it's kind of hard to get in behind it to lift it up. And, you know, that's true of a lot of multi-tools. So I'll show you the awl in just a little while. If you're interested in a big knife, locking blade, everything else is slip joints, but locking blade, over 3 inches, Sandvik steel, 12C27. So if you're interested in a large knife like this that's got a good 5-year warranty on it, then you want to check out this video and check it out right now. This knife has, I don't know, 15 or 16 different features on it. It's got a lot going for it. Most of you guys are most interested in the blade, and so we'll talk about that first. We've got 12C27 Sandvik steel blade, which is a good steel. G10 handle scales here, by the way. Only this model, the LD43, comes with these sort of apple green yellow scales. The rest are black. What we've got is a very high saber grind. I'm going to call it a full flat grind, to be honest with you. There's just a little bit at the top here that is a flat edge, just enough for me to clamp onto to sharpen it. I've not yet sharpened this knife. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's a liner lock right there. Yes, the liner lock is a nice thin light spring, and it just goes all the way over. So there's a little bit of up and down play. You can even hear it. Side to side, nice and snug, no problem there. Thumb stud on the one side only, of course, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to close it. So the thumb stud, as you can see, sits just a little bit proud of the G10 because you can just see it right there. Very easy to activate this blade and get it out. Very easy to close it. You just move it over with your thumb. You take your index finger here and start to close. Get your thumb out of the way and finish. Not so easy with the left hand. You know, you basically need to use 2 hands if you're left-handed. If you're left-handed, start practicing using knives with your right hand. Seriously, I'm left-handed. I grew up left-handed, and thankfully I had 3 older brothers who are right-handed, and that was strong incentive to learn how to use stuff right-handed. If you are left-handed, take the time to learn how to be ambidextrous. Learn how to use both of your hands proficiently. It will give you a much happier and more satisfying life, especially if you're a knife enthusiast. Anyhow, here's the blade. Let's talk about the measurements. Cutting edge, 8.1 centimeters, 3.2 inches. Blade length up to the handle is 8.5 centimeters, 3.35 inches. It is 3 millimeters thick, this blade is. That's 0.12 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.43 millimeters, which is 0.017 inches. this knife excels right there. This full flat grind, nice and thin at the edge because it goes flat over this whole length here, well, depth. Nice thin edge, and the 12C27 is strong enough to keep a durable edge. The only thing I don't like is that it's got a sort of mirror type finish, and that is so reflective of my fingerprints. I've got fairly oily skin, and it makes a mess very quickly of any blade that's that highly polished, but that's okay. You've got Ruike's name right there. You can sort of look up my nose if I do that. Anyhow, Ruike's got their name on there. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. The manufacturer gets to say how you pronounce their name, and they say it's pronounced Ruike, so then I say it's pronounced Ruike. Let's do the rest of the measurements here. Handle, 11.4 centimeters. That's 4.49 inches. The grip area I measured down in here. I measured 10 centimeters, 3.9 inches. The handle thickness, this guy, just from G10 to G10 right here, 2.1 centimeters, that's 0.83 inches. Again, you can get more tools so it goes thicker, around an inch, and you can get less tools and come down quite a bit thinner. The total length of this one when it's open, and they'll all be this length because they all have the same blade, and the rest of the dimensions are all the same, 19.9 centimeters. So basically 20 centimeters, 7.83 inches. So it's just shy of 8 inches long. This one weighs 205 grams, which is 7.2 ounces. This is a very good size for somebody with extra large hands. Large hands as well. My hands are right on the borderline between large and extra large in North American sizes. That's between 10 and 11 in European numbers for glove sizes. So let's take another look again at all the tools that we have on here. From the little guys, we've got a tungsten tip glass breaker, and I'll give you a microscopic shot of that. Very hard, breaks glass very easily. I'll give you a demonstration of some video that Ruike has provided about breaking glass. I'll do that right now. Bang, it just breaks the glass, no problem. The next small tool is over here. It's some tweezers that come in the unit, and they're just reasonable kind of tweezers. We'll go to the back side here, and right here we've got that full-size Phillips. And some reviewers were complaining that it's hard to activate these things. I don't find it so. And I'm basically a paper pushing kind of guy. I've got soft hands. I've been working in computers for, I don't know, about 10 years. And yeah, it's not hard to activate these tools. Everything except for the awl. So to open up the awl, I'm going to take this tool off of my Victorinox, and I can get in there and open the awl. And there you go. And the awl has been sharpened. A lot of awls from a lot of different manufacturers are not sharpened. I've noticed a few from GearBest, like the ZenMax and the HX Outdoors multi-tools like this. It's totally dull, not sharpened at all, and I don't like that. This guy's nice and sharp. You've got a hole there for sewing with it, and it's got a very strong tip right there, very sharp tip as well for piercing, and that's a very good thing. That awl is the only tool that I can't just open with my nails. But that being said, the same thing is true on other knives. This one here's got an awl, and I can get it started, but it's hard to open the awl on this guy. Here I've got another Victorinox, one of this style, and there's a number of tools in here that, I just can't open up. I've got to use a key for my keychain to get in there. And so it's not uncommon at all to have a multi-tool that is a bit challenging to open up. So no complaints there at all. The other side, we've got this, nice clip. It'll hang on to just about anything you want. And that works very well. It's got a nice spring on there. It's easy to activate it to, clip something on, and even easier, well, not even easier, but very easy to click to open up, to take it back off. I like that a whole lot better than the ones that are really small and hard to use. So I don't think this is a waste of space at all, because I think there's a number of people who are going to use that. And right here, easy to use with your thumbnail. You've got some wire stripper stuff here. You've got some holes there. I'm not sure if I would use those holes for anything, but they're there. Bottle opener right here. Open that brewski. Nice standard flat driver right there. And the detent on this, you hear that? It's got a very strong detent. So that detent holds in place, and you go to screw with it. And I've done some with that, and it just holds it very well. Let's see if I can demonstrate that. Here's a screw that's not a very good screw. As you can see, it's been chewed up quite a bit. I'll turn it sideways like this so that I can have access and you can see it. And it's fairly stripped out, so I have to push in pretty hard, which you don't want to push in very hard on something with a slip joint for fear it's going to close, right? Not with this one, no problem. You can push in quite hard and you can just keep using it, and you can screw in even screw heads that are fairly well stripped out. Here's one that's in really good condition, and it's much easier to use. You know, much easier if I was going straight down, of course, but then if I go straight down, you can't see anything, see? It works really well, but you can't see what I'm doing in that case. So that works very well. Let's close that up. And the next tool down here is the saw. And this saw blade is designed very well. It's thinner at the spine than it is at the teeth. And any saw that was not well designed. The reason for that is when you're cutting through something, the back of your saw is not going to get, jammed in because this kerf is wider than the spine of the blade. So if I put that in there, you can see that I can wiggle because the spine's got lots of room in there. Lots of room because the spine is thinner than the hole that gets made. And as you can see, I'm getting dust on both sides. It cuts on both the forward and the backward pull. And that's a good thing. And it saws very efficiently. No problems with that at all. I like that. You've got a nice good length. I didn't measure it. I'll put on the screen right now what the length of this teeth is and what the TPI is. And after that, the next one is this blade. This is the rescue blade. You've got a safety tip up here. There's nothing sharp for this first distance here. So it's easy to push in underneath some, whoops, I didn't close. It's easy to push in underneath some clothes and not stab the person. It just goes in there, and then you can just rip, if you needed to get the clothes off or whatever. So it's a nice safety tip here. Nice serrated edge here. It's quite sharp. Let's see if I got something that I can cut for you right here. This is just some paracord, and this is a heavy duty paracord, and it just zips through it super, super easily. No problem, no challenge really at all to, it just cuts very, very well. The serrated edge is a essential tool for a rescue device. And finally, we've got the blade. So there you go. That's covering everything that you've got here. I know I didn't show you any screwing with this, but it's also got a very strong detent. I don't have something with a Phillips screw handy, but I did use it. I tried it. And as you can see, it's not all marred up because the steel is they made it with a good hardness steel, and they made it with good tolerances. It fits very well in proper number 2 Phillips screw heads. No problem at all. You've got your pocket clip that you can decide to use or not use. If you take it off because you're going to be using, this guy, no problem. And see, it's easy opening these things. I had no problem at all. So I've left it on right there. I have used it in my pants with the pocket clip, and the pocket clip is well designed. You can see it dips down and comes back up, and then you've got a little bit of a lip there, and that's so that it'll slide well onto pockets. I'll show you what it looks like to slide it onto a pocket. Goes in like that, and it goes deep. So I'll move it to the back here. When it's in your pocket, It's fairly well hidden, although you've got 0.8 of an inch here, right? Sticking out a fair bit over right around 2 centimeters. Yeah, 2.1 centimeters sticking out. So it does show that you've got something in your pocket, but that pocket clip does hold well and it slides on well. It's a good pocket clip. The retention is great. So let's do some cut tests now with this cutting edge. There's a couple layers of paracord, and this time I got a factory edge, and it cuts very, very well. No problems at all. See, that blade is just very sharp. Cuts very, very well, and just straight down you can cut, and it cuts through. No problem at all. How much does this knife cost? All these features and everything on here, you're looking at $76.95 Canadian. Right now, that's just under $60 US. You can buy this from Ruike Canada if you live in Canada or the United States, and they'll ship it to you. If you spend $100 Canadian on their website, then they'll ship it to you for free in Canada or United States. Very, very well thought out. There's no hot spots when you're using this knife. You got it in your hand and you're just holding it and you just use the thing, no problem. Right or left-handed, I found it very comfortable, easy to use. And the Sandvik steel is just awesome. If you did need to take this apart, you've got Torx screws all over the place and nothing else. So that's a good thing. I very much like this and highly recommend this tool. Go ahead and check out the ruikeknives.ca website. There are about 10 different versions of this multi-tool knife. More tools, less tools. You can get it with a scissor. You can get it with a pliers. And you can get it with a whole lot less stuff. There's even variants for those of you who like corkscrews. Instead of having the Phillips, you have a corkscrew there. I don't need a corkscrew. I don't drink from bottles that need corkscrews. And, so there you go. I chose this one. Very, very nice tool. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thanks for liking Canadian Cutting Edge at gmail.com. Well, you can send me an email if you want to, canadiancuttingedge@gmail.com. I accept any donations if you want to give me anything of any type, But if you want me to review the knife that you send me, I request that it is in very close to new condition, because that's the only way that it's fair to the manufacturer for me to review it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Ask any questions. I will try to answer them as quickly and efficiently as I can. I still try to answer and reply to every single comment. I didn't respond to all the comments last weekend when I was off. Last week I was feeling a lot of pain. I'm doing a whole lot better now. I did read all of your well wishes on my little video that I put up. Thank you so much for caring about me, and those of you who prayed for me and stuff, thank you so very much. And those that just, thought about me and sent up good vibes and good thoughts, thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Remember, guys, when you got a cutting edge, cut towards your chum, not your thumb.